All right, let's talk about a movie that's currently playing in theaters, although it'll be on Netflix shortly. You and I both went to see it on the big screen,
Yes,
though.
sir.
So what was your reaction to Hustle, the new movie starring Adam Sandler as a basketball scout who scours the globe for potential new talents when he comes across Bo, an exciting prospect from Spain, played by the NBA's own Juancho Hernan Gomez?
That was pretty good. It's a solid little entry, feel good type of sports movie where you don't need to know too much about the sports figures that are there. I also don't think that it overshadows a lot of the movie either, because a lot of these movies you're just like, hey, look who it is. It's this NBA player. I thought they weave it in comfortably, so if you're a fan, you'll like a lot of the appearances. If you're not, it's all right. I don't think it was as big of a role in terms of like, this is going to be the big dramatic break that he's going to be coming back to. I know you and I
Right.
were really excited for that, specifically because the director of this is a director that I really like. His previous feature was We the Animals, which premiered at Sundance, also on Netflix. So
Yeah, Jeremiah
there you go.
Zagar.
They got that nice little deal going on. I highly recommend that movie. That is a fantastic film. This it's solid. It's a nice little movie to watch, I guess, with the family. That, like I said, is a very feel good movie. Has the elements of Rocky and every other sports movie that's out there in terms of its training montages and being the underdog. I really like Ben Foster in the movie, because really the perspective is that Adam
Yeah.
Sandler is playing the guy for the 76ers who goes out to find talent. And as much as he wants to be on the bench, like literally as a coach, they're always pushing him to be that. And after some incidents happen, he continues to get pushed as the dude who has to travel all around the world eating every possible fast food. There's a certain point where, I always call out product placement. This was not product placement, because every time this man eats something, it's just all of the other characters making fun of him for eating all of the junk food that he eats around the world.
Right.
But damn, they went through every fast food possible around the globe for Adam Sandler. But really, the heart of the movie is that training that he's doing with this guy, because the whole purpose of him trying to get somebody drafted, I guess if you want to say, into the team is so that he can finally stay at home in Philly, so that he can raise his own daughter. But
Yeah,
I was
he's
actually
like hoping to, like you were saying, he's hoping to like prove himself, and also
Yep.
hoping to like help this guy, achieve a nice life for his family. So there's all sorts of sort of like heartwarming stories carrying you through this one.
There's a lot of cameos in there too. I was telling you, I don't know if you
lot.
caught your eyes in the credits, because the credits pull
Yeah.
up and I'm like, I didn't see that person in there. I didn't see Tierra Whack. Where was she? Well, all these different appearances that come out of nowhere. So it's definitely one that on Netflix.
The credits happen, and it's like top to bottom, as himself, as herself, as himself. It's pretty crazy. I mean, if you are a person who pays attention to NBA circles and like watches Inside the NBA, or like knows who Anthony Edwards is, you're gonna have like a real fun time
Anthony Edwards
with just the
killed
little
it.
bits of. He's so good in this,
That
like
is
good
solid.
enough that I want to see him in more things. Like put him in the White Man Can't Jump remake or something.
He was good for this role. It's one of those things where, I don't know, outside of him having to play a basketball player, he was the only one who wasn't playing himself. He was the one who was playing the antagonist for the main character. And I thought he did a really good job at like kind of pressuring him and being the one who wants to break him. But you were talking about like Inside the NBA, but the TNT boys, dude, the fact that everyone but Kenny, because I saw Kenny come up on screen, I'm like, oh, he's playing Kenny. I guess Kenny's really
Right.
pushing the idea that he's got a lot of pull in the NBA. No, Kenny's playing a guy named Leon. So when it cuts to the TNT guys,
Kenny's just not there.
It's just Chug reading the
It would
lines
have been
off.
funny if Kenny showed up in a second role as himself.
That would have been great. Because the movie does play
Yeah.
with a lot of that. It's like trying to be fully a drama, but like I said, it's very much. I don't know if you would you call it a family film? Like I know there's some lines.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
stuff, but it's a family film.
It's one of those like. Yeah, it's one of those like PG-13, the whole family can see it kind of things, where there's maybe a little bit of inappropriate stuff there, but it's mostly in terms of like banter and sports banter, and I think it is mostly overshadowed by just how like affable everybody in this story is. Like I think that's really my main takeaway here, is that Adam Sandler is just such a likable presence on screen, and that even if you remove all the sort of quirks of the comedic performances that you're used to, and even if you don't give him like a Barry Egan or a Howie type of character to play, like there's still just so much charm there that makes you root for him even through the ups and downs in this movie. He feels like such a mensch. He feels like such a warm-hearted person, and like a good hang. The repartee he has with different people in this movie, he's able to pull it off in this naturalistic, funny way. So even if it is mostly the tone of a drama, it has these pockets of comedy here and there through that banter, through some insults and stuff like that. I want to circle back to the thing you were mentioning with the training montages here, because I think this one has a pretty excellent training montage, and part of the reason that I think the training montage works is it's really extended. Like, sometimes you'll get a training montage which is really just meant to bridge one part of the movie to the next, but there's this long sequence where you see him train and you see him struggle and you see him unable, and it almost feels like the montage is about to end with him being unable to reach his goals, and then there's a whole sequence of him getting better. And I think by extending it, it's like that much more believable. You're that much more invested in it. And even though it is a montage, because some of the things they're showcasing with the new types of basketball drills with the flashing lights and stuff like that, there's enough interesting stuff happening that it kept me with it. I'm definitely a little more predisposed to like a movie like this, not only because it has so many NBA references, basketball references, and cameos and stuff that I like. It's shot in Philly, and it really feels Philly, and
it does.
I don't know. So
they ain't show Max's though. They kept going in front of Geno's and Geno's and Pat's. They know what they're doing. They're trying to get that screen real estate every chance they get. If y'all gotta listen to Creed, y'all gotta go to Max's. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would say John's Rose Park, but that's not
another
in
good
any
one. It's another
big
good
movie.
one. Yeah, it's good.
But
John's Rose Park ever been in a movie?
That's a good question. I know it was in Bourdain's show, but I don't know if it was ever in like a movie.
I'm talking about like a film, maybe like a Good Times heist film that just so happens to be in John's Rose Park.
We'll put it in one. I mean, for those aspects, I kind of loved this, but I know it's like not that great. Like, it's good. Yeah. It's a really solid sports movie. Yeah. But I just like, there's a lot of reasons I had to really like. I also root for Sandler. We know this. I really root.
That's
for
your boy, dude. He loves NBA players. He's not. I feel like every 2 years he's gonna be working on a movie with an NBA player in the film in some way, shape, or form. But
I mean, look, it's a good lane for him. He clearly knows and loves basketball. He seems to fit in this world. Like, there's just a small moment early in the film where his character gets frustrated and is like, "Can you tell me a place I can shoot hoop?" And he says it with such a naturalism that I cannot get away with, but he does, because that's what he's been doing for 30 years on set. Yeah. Josh in the live stream comments asked, would you say that Sandler is better here than Punch Drunk Love? I wouldn't say that. It's a solid performance for sure, but like, I think Sandler was even nominated for a Golden Globe for that Punch Drunk Love performance.
That's top tier. That's top tier Sandler.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anybody's going to like throw him in awards discussions for this one. Yeah. It's solid though. I think it's sort of on the level of like, how Ben Affleck was in that movie, the sports coach movie a couple of years back. Where it's like a good performance, but nobody's like trying to throw him in awards discussions.
Yeah, I would agree.